First tonight, video showing the aftermath following an ICE operation in central Austin. This is near North Loop and Lamar Boulevard. Video uploaded to report it at KXAN.com shows a car in someone's front yard after it crashed. Well, KXAN has reached out to Immigration and Customs Enforcement for more information. Austin police told us it happened this morning and that 911 callers said there was a chase. APD is not the lead agency and directed us to ICE. In an email this evening, APD said officers at the scene discovered that federal ICE agents initiated a short car chase that ended in the yard with minor damage to the lawn.
That was a call they sent into communications that a car crashed into a building. And so as soon as our officers got there, recognized that they were not needed there, they cleared the scene. So those calls do happen if they're calling it in for some assistance or they have something like that. But at no time are we're not working in operations, with ICE. It's just not happening here.
Today, Austin Police Chief Lisa Davis talked about what's being done at APD to make the administrative warrant process more clear when dealing with ICE. We've told you Austin's general orders don't specifically say what an APD officer should do if they find an administrative warrant in their system, which is a civil warrant from ICE. KXAN's Grace Reeder breaks down what the police chief said about their progress on that today.
After the Austin Police Department flagged ICE on an administrative warrant, which resulted in a woman and her daughter being picked up by ICE last month, how APD works with the federal agency has been up for discussion and under protest. This one at City Hall a couple weeks ago.
The petition itself basically asks for a clear definition and a ceasing of serving administrative warrants.
Of course, we want to comply with the law, and so that's where the details come in. We want to do the work.
Monday, Austin's Public Safety Commission, a group of volunteers that can recommend action to City Council, heard from Police Chief Lisa Davis about changes APD is working on in its general orders.
So when it goes to the general orders, those are being revised, and they're being revised to add in the administrative warrant. If they choose to call ICE, that will then be taken to a commander level.
At that point, Davis says the commander can determine whether or not APD has the resources for the officer to continue to detain someone until ICE can arrive.
We do not have time to wait for ICE to come pick up on an administrative warrant, a civil warrant. As a department, we have over 300 officers short.
At the same meeting, the commission also voted to send a recommendation to City Council that could eventually require APD to provide more data about calls where ICE may be involved. Grace Reeder, KXAN News.
And this is going to be back before the same commission in March. Chief Davis said she would be back before the commission next month with the official changes to the general orders. Going in depth, you may have seen rumors online that ICE agents were targeting Austin's homeless shelters as people sought help during the cold snap. The man in charge of Austin's homelessness response also addressed that today, saying ICE did not show up at Austin's overnight cold weather shelters, and he laid out what the city would do should that happen in the future.
Should ICE show up, state law does not allow us to stop them from conducting their activity, but we also don't have to necessarily aid in the doing of that activity. And so internally for us, what that looks like is a request to ICE to see any documentation that they can provide that justifies their presence for being there, a call to our city attorney's office just to activate kind of that legal arm of the city. And
the city of Austin said of those rumors last week, quote, city officials have been in contact with regional ICE representatives and have been assured that ICE does not have operations focused on warming centers or cold weather sheltering facilities.